Dr. King worked with Motown on several projects. Let's start at the beginning. Here's Smokey Robinson talking about what it was like when Dr. King came to Hitsville.
Well, that next year, 63, Martin Luther King actually came down to Hitsville?
Yes.
What was it like to meet MLK at that point?
It was regal. You know, he was him. And to basically most people in the United States at that time who were not bigots, he was a regal figure. You know what I mean? So he came to Motown, and it was very humbling to be in his presence because he was him, and he was doing something that was making an impact on not just the United States, really the world.
Yeah.
And to hear him say what he said was even better than that. He came because he wanted to record I Have a Dream, and he wanted us to record that speech, which is on Motown.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Have a Dream speech was on Motown.
Aha.
So that's why he came, because, you know, we were hot at the time. And he said, you guys are doing with music what I'm trying to do legally, you know. He said, and you're doing it, and it's happening automatically with your music, so you're actually helping me, you know. So that was wonderful to hear from him that he said that, because exactly that was happening. Because we were breaking down barriers, man, and bringing people together with music.
The result of that meeting turned into a couple of records, one of which was a recording when Dr. King came to Detroit to Cobo Hall, and Motown Records recorded that speech. Motown Records also recorded the speech for the March on Washington, and a third album by Dr. King where he protested America's involvement in the war in Vietnam. Those weren't the only interactions that Motown had with Dr. King. Here's an example where Motown and Dr. King worked together in a way that I don't think is widely known, but shows how much each side supported the other.
Before November 6, 2012, was August 6, 1965, the Voting Rights Act led by Dr. King and the Bloody Bridges of Selma, Alabama. After Dr. King was led that drive, he could not borrow money to make payroll, could not borrow money from a bank, could not raise the capital. And he said, well, go to Detroit. Barry Gordy has shown favor to us. He recorded the I Have a Dream speech at the March on Washington. We don't know him that well, but we think he appreciates what we are about. He sent me to Motown, to Detroit, to meet you on a cold winter day. And there, along with your sister Esther and Dick Scott, made the appeal for Dr. King's payroll. You gave it to us that day, and you helped to sustain us. We thank you for that.
Motown Records re-released the 3 albums they had recorded of him after his assassination. One of those won a Grammy Award. It was specifically his album protesting the United States involvement in the Vietnam War. One of the things that may not be as well known, and I just want to share for a moment, is the extremely high quality that the Motown engineers were able to get when they were recording Dr. King in particular and the civil rights movement in general. So I want to finish here by letting you listen to about 5 or so seconds of the way we're used to hearing Dr. King, the normal quality, and then it's going to switch to the quality of the recording from Motown. These recordings of Dr. King on Motown are now available, for example, on Apple Music and Amazon and stuff like that. Excellent, excellent, excellent quality. Very highly recommend, because hearing Dr. King this clearly is like hearing him for the very first time. Enjoy.
I still have a dream. Yes. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today